Guys, my name is Ankit Kumarnath. I am from Molbiolect. So today's video topic is very simple, that what is a possible mechanism of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine, because this drug, as we know, is causing a huge kind of discussions online, and everyone is making a video. I have already made one video where I'm discussing only one possible mechanism, but today I'm back with three possible mechanisms, including the first, which I have already discussed. So basically what we have over here is the ACE2 receptor, and this we have the sialic acid receptor. This ACE2 sialic acid receptor, they are found in eukaryotic cells, lung cells. So ACE means angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptors. Our eukaryotic cells, they contain different kind of receptors, and also we have got sialic acid receptors. So how this chloroquine works? So before going on to the video, you should go subscribe to my channel. You should press that bell icon so that whenever I'm uploading a new video, you are getting notified first. So let's start. So the viral entry is over here. As the virus is entering, we have the viral spike proteins over here. So these spike proteins are basically like clinging to something. It's basically used for clinging to something. In this case, the receptors. So the sialic acid receptors placed just beside the ACE2 receptors. Actually, these ACE2 receptors also contain a serine protease, okay, transmembrane serine protease unit that I have not shown because it will increase the complexity. So this spike protein first of all binds to ACE2, but obviously, like any other thing, any other clingy material, if you are trying to cling on to something, suppose if this virus was coming from this side, so with the help of one spike protein, it will bind the sialic acid receptor over here. So as it is binding to one of the sialic acid receptor over here, it is getting slow in its momentum. It's getting slowed down in its momentum such that it can enter another spike protein into the ACE2 receptor. So basically, sialic acid residue is helping in the helping the virus to bind to the cells properly. After binding, as I have shown, it is getting endocytosed, and it is endocytosed to form an endosome, and this endosome will ultimately form a endolysosome, or basically fuse to lysosome, as we know. But we are talking about the hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. The possible mechanisms that they have showed is that this chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, they increase the pH of the lysosome, okay, and also it blocks the fusion of endosome and the lysosome. So two mechanisms: it increases the pH and it blocks the fusion of endosome with lysosome. So first of all, this blocking with the endosome and lysosome would actually help in the viral cells to be cleared out of the host cells, okay, the lung cells. And the second point, the increase in the pH of the lysosome, which will actually help in the viral proteins. Not help, but actually cause a trouble to the viral proteins. Viral proteins are only active in very low acidic pH, okay. But whenever, in this case, the pH of the lysosome is very much high, then these enzymes will not be functional, and hence this viral load will be decreased because the enzymes are inactivated. Also, I have mentioned about sialic acid. So this chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, it can also bind to the sialic acid residue, and binding with sialic acid residue in a law of mass action dependent manner, that means more amount of chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine is actually very much good for binding more and more to sialic acid. But also you have to remember this: these drugs are very much active and very much toxic, so these are very much risky drugs to be used. So always get help with your doctor, but please watch this video full because it's going to be an interesting video. So the sialic acid receptor binds to it, but it blocks it, so that viral spike protein cannot bind to the sialic acid residue anymore. Also, hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine also was shown to be acting as a zinc ionophore. So zinc ionophore is nothing but it actually incorporates zinc inside the cell. It helps in incorporation of zinc inside the cell. And as zinc is incorporated inside, the intercellular zinc concentration increases, and this zinc actually affects the RDRP. RDRP is basically RNA dependent RNA polymerase. I'm very sorry because of the car honking, but this is our lockdown going on. Thank you. So basically this zinc binding to the RDRP, RNA dependent RNA polymerase, and this binding actually inhibits the viral replication because it's an RNA dependent RNA polymerase, so it will not anymore replicate the RNA. and the viral load in the lung cells or in the in vitro cells of the lung is decreased. We can use different kind of lung cells. Okay, Vero cells are there, Calu3 cells are there, Calu2 cells are there, sorry. So we have got different kind of cells. But now the question arises, is this drug really needed to treat COVID-19? And what are the odds that this drug will work? Actually, let me say you, there are some papers which basically suggest that it is going to work against the COVID-19, but those are not peer reviewed. Peer reviewed paper means that those papers are already been reviewed by different other scientists, and they have actually possibly duplicated the whole experiment, replicated it, and they have found a possible suitable result for it. But in this case, there are no such kind of peer reviewed papers, so this is actually not trustable. Secondly, hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine is basically associated with different other diseases, and also it's a kind of medicine for the SLE patients, rheumatoid arthritis, and also for other diabetic patients and everyone, autoimmune diseases. They needed this kind of hydroxychloroquine. And it's very dangerous for them if they consume it without any doctor's prescription, and they also might face some kind of secondary effects, which are basically side effects I'm talking about. Thirdly, the experiment which took place, which suggests that DDR Raoult was actually true, is not correct, because in that test, the amount of patients which were actually used first, which were actually brought into the test, and later many of them gave up during the course of the test, and they backed off, many died, and the control group was also not well maintained. So this was not the good case. So apart from this, another possible result came out when some other scientists, they replicated the same thing after the Trump's famous speech about the hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine, and they found that there were no specific mechanisms and there were no possible cure of COVID-19 using the hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. So why this was so? Because according to the test, they maintained a control group. That control group did not get any kind of medication, hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine. They were given artificial life supporting actually therapies, okay, and no medicines. On the other hand, the other 50% patients were given the hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. The results were that those who did not get any kind of medication, they improvised, or they showed improvement faster than the ones getting the medicine. So basically this test suggests that this might be just a waste of time, maybe. Okay, also we are just waiting for the peer review version of this paper, although many other tests already claim that this hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine is not going to help us. But the fact that I'm making this video today is because we have found that many hospitals are already, they are spending everything for getting hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. They are even utilizing it. Okay, some of them are, maybe they are getting results and maybe they are not. But the thing is, this is not a proven drug. FDA has not approved it for this treatment, and also the CDC does not recommend this. Okay, neither any of the other international organizations support the use of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine, and also the test results are not very good. So it's basically, I think, according to me, up to date information I have on April 16th 2020, I would say that hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine is not the drug which you will need. It's not the magic bullet, as DDR Raoult and many others have shown that this could be a magic bullet. But no, this drug cannot be a magic bullet, because the tests show, many other small tests show, along with some larger tests, they show that these results are inconclusive, because the control group, they all the maximum majority of times, they improvise faster with life support treatments and not with the drug. So by saying this, I would just like to conclude my video for today. So please see the mechanisms, go through the video if you are getting any kind of confusion, and also you can suggest that what I can do for my next video. Until now, please subscribe and please tap that bell icon so that whenever I'm uploading a new video, you will be the first to get the notification about it and learn it faster. So for now, Ankit and Mall Biolect out. And also I just want to say that this every information I've shown you is basically up to my research findings, whatever I found online, and also whatever I think about this kind of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine trials. And the informations are updated up to April of 16th 2020. So if there is any possible new papers and new theories coming out, I will surely make a video, and I may be wrong, so please go through internet research, don't blindly copy me. But according to me, this drug is a waste of time we are dealing with. Thank you. Bye.